Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the Penhold grip. I'm going to be going over the traditional grip itself and then a slight alteration that I've found successful, and hopefully you will too. So taking a look at Penhold here, we have a Japanese Penhold here, and this grip that I have right here is your standard traditional Penhold grip where your fingers curl around the front. And then these fingers here are not fully extended, but slightly curled towards the middle of the back of the paddle. One of the things that I struggled with this grip in time was with the traditional backhand. Of course, the forehand's very natural, but the backhand here of doing a block, it's commonplace in Penhold to where your finger placement might change slightly depending when you're doing this motion and you're contacting the ball like so. You'll usually take a little pressure off this thumb here, perhaps straighten it out to help close the face of your blade. Also, these fingers here might start to slide up a little bit further on the paddle, allowing me to close the blade even more. Because if someone hits a heavy topspin to you, closing it at just this angle just won't cut it. If you're taking on a heavy looper, for example, and you try blocking it with this angle, the ball's going to go well long after the table. However, if I were to block it with something more like this, I can keep any ball on the table. One problem that I started to run into is I'm a close to the table player, so if I get into a quick exchange with someone and a ball quickly comes to my backhand, sometimes getting it to the backhand and changing my finger placement, I couldn't close the face of the blade enough or quickly enough, and I would block the ball and it would go long. Having thought about this over some time, I tried a slight alteration. It worked for me, and hopefully it will for you too. Instead, I kind of thought to take a backhanded approach more full time. This way that regardless whether I'm doing forehand or backhand, I have virtually the same grip. So I don't have to worry about not only getting my paddle there, but changing my fingers. I can just, if I get the paddle there, I'm going to block it in. So what I did is I adopted, instead of a curled traditional grip like so, I curl my fingers even more so on the backhand side. Now some people, this might feel weird at first. I'll admit it did for me as well, but honestly, it didn't take long to adjust at all. Some people like having these relatively straight fingers on the back for support, but I feel like you can get the same thing from a curled perspective also. So this is my backhand as it is now. If I do switch to my backhand, I will, take a little pressure off that thumb. But I'm essentially just kind of straightening those fingers and maybe loosening the grip on this to where I'm doing that. And you don't have to be some kind of contortionist to hit a traditional backhand. If you can twist your wrist this far, that's all you really need to close the face of the blade. The rest of it's just finger placement. I can even go to an extreme angle, or that's almost completely flat or parallel to the table should I have to go that far. So I have my punching motion here, and then it's just quickly to the forehand. No matter what, I can close the face of the blade to whatever angle I need. This is it's a little bit different of a grip. Certainly try it out. If it doesn't work for you, by all means, go with more of the traditional Penhold grip. You can't go wrong with that. But if you've tried it out and you've encountered the same thing as I did, I recommend giving this a shot. This is virtually the backhand grip there. That'll feel very natural. And on the forehand side, you still get a little bit of stability from the fingers that are curved on the back side here. It's not like the paddle's wobbly. It's very solid in my hand. A little perk about this grip that I've found, that is, if you're a Chinese Penhold player and you execute you hit from the backside, which is the reverse Penhold backhand. With the traditional grip, once again trying to curve the fingers as best I can here, ideally this is your contact spot, but this isn't that far off from your fingers. I'd have the rare occasion where maybe perhaps I have a mishit and a ball clips my finger, and of course it's an error. I find that with the traditional, with the curved finger approach that I do, I have an even larger area to hit, basically more margin for error should I make a mistake and contact the ball a little bit closer more than I really want to. Executing the stroke with this grip is no problem as well. So it's worked for me. That's it for now. I hope you found this useful. Try it out. If it works for you, great, I'm happy. If it hasn't, certainly you can always stick to the more traditional grip. But thanks a lot.